It is the Big Joe and Laura show here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix, welcoming you to Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Laura, we just were talking a second ago that today is what, National Teachers Day?
Yeah, so if you're a teacher out there getting up early so you can get the kiddos going, thank you for doing so. We appreciate you. You did your best with both of us, and it wasn't your fault.
I would like to know, it's multiple choice here. It's dealer's choice or whatever. I want to hear about a teacher that you had, whether it was the meanest teacher you had, maybe it's the teacher that made the biggest impact, or just the teacher you remember most. Do you have one? I have one I can go if you need to think about it.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, back in high school, and this is how it is in life too. I would say I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid. I don't know if that makes sense. But when I apply myself, but I barely got out of high school. Okay, so I'm self-conscious about that. I never went to college. That's me. It's dumb. It doesn't mean anything. But when I was in high school, this might be why I was not studying, just doing the bare minimum. And we came up for I think it was our final semester exam or something. It was worth half your grade in this English class.
Yeah,
and I did not think it was that big of a deal, but I opened up a book which had all the answers in it because I was in the back of this lady's class. Mrs. Trago caught me in front of the whole class.
Oh no.
And she was so angry, disappointed in me, got mad that she threw the book at me and told me to get out of her class. She failed me for the actual final exam or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to buy $450 worth of school yearbook ads for extra credit just to pass her class.
Wait, you could buy ads to get extra credit?
Listen, if this compromises my actual high school graduation, I don't want to talk about this.
I think the statute of limitations is up. I think you're clear at this point. But no,
she was
were
also the yearbook
able to
teacher.
buy your way into passing high school.
Yeah, I was able to buy my way out. If my mom wouldn't fronted me $450, I'd still be at Howell High School.
Oh, no.
But shout out to Mrs. Trago, wherever you are now. You were really cool.
Was she?
Actually, yeah, she was a good teacher. Believe it or not, I was really annoying and a pain in the butt. Yeah, I know. I just want you to try to take it there. I know it's hard.
It's hard to believe that you would have been a pain in the butt as a high school student.
I've changed it all now. I'm everybody loves me, but no. What about you? Did you have a teacher that maybe you had a good impact with, or were you a bad kid like me?
No, I mean, I was maybe a little bit of a menace, but I wasn't bad. I never got caught. I was really good about being the kid that was always on the side. And was I can't believe all these kids around you are doing this, and you would never. And I was like, that's right. I clearly was not involved in any of this. But no, I think my band director is probably the biggest impact for me because I was with him for 7 years because he went all the way through middle school and high school because he worked with both the middle school and the high school bands. And honestly, he passed away a few years ago, and it was really upsetting because he was one of those guys that always really took note in what you were doing and cared. And I was one of those kids that I probably had some mental health problems that were a little unchecked in high school because of losing my mom when I was young. And people didn't really know how to navigate that very well back then. We're really good about mental health and talking to kids. And back in the 90s, not really, we weren't great at it.
I would have been here's some ice cream, feel better.
That's, kind of how they handled it. It didn't necessarily work all the time, but he was really one of those teachers that would notice that it's hey, you're smarter than this. You're better than this. You can apply yourself better than this. And he really pushed myself to be the best I could. And then my senior year of high school, I was band president, and it was he pushed a lot of that. And I don't think I would have ever had that confidence or that ability to feel like I could be a leader or be important in a group if it weren't for him investing in me and caring about me. And so I think he was kind of a second little father figure throughout my years. My dad was great, but I think my band director really did a lot for me and taught me a lot more than just how to play a saxophone or a trombone.
Oh, that is such a sweet story. Thank you for sharing that. Now I kind of regret sharing me getting kicked out of class. I should have talked about Mr. Oglesby, who was really cool with our We the People class and actually believed in me too.
No, I figured we should do a little of both sides. But hey, if you're a teacher out there or you like a teacher, we'd love to give you a shout out. You can send us a DM in the Mix 95.7 app or give us a call at 616-600-0957.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
If you're driving around Grand Rapids, you got to keep your eyes out for turkeys, especially in the Heritage Hill neighborhood, because they've been out blocking traffic a lot lately.
Oh, no. I did notice one recently when I was driving around, and I was like, hey, little guy, you're too close to the road.
Yeah, I saw one the other day down by Division in downtown. I'm like, whoa, bro, I don't want no problem. You go ahead and cross. It's all you, buddy.
Absolutely.
According to the Michigan DNR, this is happening because turkey breeding season is beginning as the temperatures get warmer and the daylight hours increase during the springtime, which we're currently going through. Now, what do you do if you got an aggressive turkey in your area? Well, you contact the Michigan DNR and they'll handle it.
I was going to say, do not cross them. Do not start anything. Do not trash talk them. It is not worth it.
What would you rather be in front of you? A turkey like this or like a Canadian goose, like a geese or something?
Ooh, I'm going to pick the goose only because turkeys have claws. I'm not messing with one of those.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Okay, if you think you're the glizzy king or queen, you have your chance to claim your crown this weekend at the West Michigan Whitecaps game. This Saturday after the military appreciation game, they're going to have a hot dog eating contest to see who can take down the most of them. The top male and female winners will get to continue to the Nathan's Famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest at Coney Island.
Wait, like the place where Joey Chestnut is?
Yes, you get to compete against Joey Chestnut if you end up winning this. I wish I wasn't busy this weekend because I would absolutely be throwing my hat in the ring. I really think I have a fighting chance.
Wait, you're a glizzy queen?
I got second place the last time I tried. I think now after having a baby and the bigger appetite I have now, I think I can take them all down.
All right, we'll have a glizzy off later. And your final need-to-know news story takes us to TikTok, where a woman's resume hack has gone viral because it's helping change how people get job interviews. It actually has to do with AI and how places are now filtering out job candidates with it.
Step 1, you are going to highlight the entire job description and you are going to copy it, then paste it onto your resume. Then you're going to make that text super tiny and in white ink so it's not visible to the human eye, but to AI, it still sees it and it reads every keyword that is there. So your resume looks like it's a great fit.
Oh, that's genius. That is absolutely genius because if you can trick the computer, you get on someone's desk. This is honestly makes it easier to get a job than ever before.
Old man Joe over here. How do I get on to the chat GPC? That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
I have an addiction, and it's called Topgolf. Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7 Grand Rapids Best Mix. Over the weekend, my husband and I traveled all the way down to Nashville and Indianapolis and came back to covering some concerts for his TikTok account. So while we were in Nashville, we've always wanted to do Topgolf, and we kind of checked it out. We realized early in the morning they have no wait time, and it's cheaper. So we could afford to kind of sneak in there and just try it out for an hour, and we did that, and it was amazing. I loved it. We got to play games. This is the first time I've ever been able to actually beat him in golf in any form because he's normally much better than I am. So like when we played the stupid games like Block Party and the Angry Birds game, I was able to actually kind of like get more points than him and win. And I was like, look, I'm finally better at golf.
I've had Lindsay almost beat me at Topgolf, but if we actually went to a golf course, there's no way she'd be able to get the ball down the fairway.
No, and that's what's fun about it. I think it makes golf more inclusive and fun for everybody, and it's great for the family. And I'm just kind of bummed we don't have something like this here in West Michigan. Now, I know we're not as big as Nashville or those areas, but I think combined West Michigan could absolutely sustain at least like a small Topgolf.
Why not? Yeah, you got Chicago, then you got everything. I feel like Grand Rapids is right in the middle between Detroit, because there's one on the east side, but you got to drive like 2.5 hours to get there.
Yeah.
We went there for my buddy Jeff's bachelor party, and that was fun. But I think that's a great start, Laura. Like, I think it'd be so cool if we had a Topgolf in West Michigan.
Yeah, and so that's what we're asking this morning is what do you wish that we had in West Michigan, Grand Rapids, anywhere that we don't have? We want to hear from you at 616-600-0957. Joe, if you could have anything in West Michigan, what would it be?
I know we have a lot of great food options here, and more come, day by day. I thought it was a big deal for me. Some people think it's overrated when Chick-fil-A made their way to town.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you'd love to see Raising Cane's, but let me take over the food menu since you had the activity and games.
Okay.
We need White Castle. The closest one, I believe, is in Howell, where I grew up. I think that one's still open, but it's still a huge thing, these sliders with the onions in Detroit. But if we could have, I'm fantasizing right now about a Crave case, like going home after a long, hard day of work, cracking that open and just slowly enjoying one slider after another and have that stinky onion breath.
Wait, you mean the vending machine inside the Woodland Mall isn't good enough for you? Which, yes, by the way, if you didn't know that, there is a vending machine inside the Woodland Mall that does sell sliders. I think they're like the frozen ones you buy at Meijer or I've seen them at Sam's Club too. But I mean, I got really amped. I was like, it's kind of like having a White Castle.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of the thing where it's like, hey, we've got White Castle at home. It's like, yeah, we do, but it's not the same. Even if it's them, it's not the same. I want it fresh and hot right off of the little grill.
We have White Castle in the mall on the wall. That's definitely not as good. Okay, fine. Well, we are already getting some DMs to the Mix 95.7 app, including Madison and Caledonia, who said, honestly, Grand Rapids needs an A&W restaurant again. I know we have one in Cedar Springs, but it's way out of the way for just some good root beer.
Oh, yeah, the root beer, the curly fries.
Yes.
And isn't the kind, if I remember, like A&W, like most of them, they'd come up there and you'd have like the tray on the side of the vehicle, right?
Yeah, those were cool. Yeah, they did do that.
I think that's a great
location.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also got another one in the Mix 95.7 GR Instagram story because I posted it up there as well. And someone said they wish we could get mountains, which honestly, like, I don't think we can install mountains, but I was home in the hills over the weekend and hills are nice. It's nice compared to all the flatness of West Michigan.
Not to poo-poo anybody's idea here, because we do want to hear from you and see what you have. I think it might be easier to get a Topgolf for a White Castle than a mountain range.
Listen, you're not dreaming big enough. We want to hear from you. 616-600-0957 or send us a voice memo or DM in the Mix 95.7 app.
It is the Big Joe and Laura show on Mix 95.7. Laura, you were saying you and your husband James went down to Nashville and you finally got to check out a Topgolf.
Yeah, it was really awesome. We've seen them everywhere we travel, and it's always either they're busy or we don't have time. And so we had our clubs in the trunk. We played for a little while. It was really great. And I was like, I just wish we had something even similar to this in West Michigan, even if it was like our own West Michigan version of Topgolf. And so we're asking, what do you think we need here in West Michigan? What do you wish you had? You can give us a call at 616-600-0957, or you could DM us like some of these people did in the Mix 95.7 app. Chad in Grand Rapids said, there's actually a perfect spot for Topgolf directly between Grand Valley State University and downtown Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
It's even in a recreation desert right next to the Standale Meijer. I know where he's talking about. Yeah, that whole area is just, there's nothing out there. I used to live out there when I first moved to Grand Rapids, and it would be a perfect place for it because you've got all the Grand Valley students that would use it. It's not too far from downtown Grand Rapids. You get like right off 96 and just get, or 196 and get right there. Chad, genius, love it. Stephanie, she had a good suggestion as well.
Yeah, Shake Shack, which is like, okay, we can have a White Castle here, then across the street, we can have a Shake Shack. That just sounds so good.
That would make up for the fact that we don't have Wahlburgers anymore because I miss Wahlburgers, and I think they're kind of similar in my opinion. And then Megan and Lowell said IKEA, Rainforest Cafe, and Topgolf for sure.
Let's just stop at IKEA. Have you ever shopped at an IKEA?
Oh, yeah. All of our furniture is IKEA stuff.
Ours too.
And so, yeah, no, I love IKEA. And it always bums me out because we have to make trips out of the way to go to IKEA when we go places like, oh, we're going to Chicago. Can we fit a bookshelf in our car? I don't know if we can with the dog, too.
We went to Detroit, and Lindsay and we bought like this new couch. We got an old sectional, and then we got this new one.
Yeah.
We thought it was big enough. We measured wrong. We had to rent a U-Haul after we bought it to bring it back across the state.
No.
Yeah, so
totally worth it. It'd be nice if it was just down the street, and then it wouldn't be such a big deal.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Demolition is now officially underway for the new downtown amphitheater in Grand Rapids. Crews began tearing down the first of several buildings on Monday at the site on Market Avenue, which is just south of Cherry Street, to make room for the 12,000-seat venue. Now, concerts, we're not expecting them until probably 2026, which is not that far away.
I mean, yeah, right. That's like 2 years. That's a long time from now for those of us with a short attention span.
You sound like my brain when I'm on the treadmill, like, only 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes? You're going to die.
We're all dying.
Live Nation is likely going to be the place that books the venue, so you might see similar acts like that go to Pine Knob or the Michigan Lottery Amphitheater on the east side of the state.
Oh, I can't wait for this to open. We're going to get so many cool concerts. This is super cool. Some West Michigan students are getting help receiving their CDL while they're in high school. In case you don't know what that is, that's your commercial driver's license. So you can drive one of those big honking trucks. It's all thanks to a new program that's been introduced this spring to Hamilton Community Schools because college isn't for everybody. So now they're trying to prepare kids to be able to just become truckers as soon as they're out of high school, which I think is super cool because truckers make a ton of money if you didn't know that.
I was going to say, I feel like right now there's such a shortage that's a job that's in demand.
Absolutely. So they get a leg out as soon as they're done with high school, right in, no debt. I think this is such a cool program to exist. So shout out Hamilton Community Schools for preparing your kids, and hopefully we'll see more of this across the state.
We need to go out there and take some classes.
Honestly, I think it would be so much fun.
And your final need-to-know news story takes us back to TikTok, where someone asked a bunch of women if they'd rather be alone in the woods with a man or a bear.
Man is scary. With a bear. Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? So maybe a bear. Depends what man, but probably a bear.
I mean, I guess it depends. Is it a man I know or is it a stranger?
Let's say it's a stranger.
Oh, I'm picking the bear every single time.
I don't understand all these women, including you. I mean, listen, I'm not saying guys are the greatest, but a bear will freaking eat you. Unless you have Winnie the Pooh right there, I'm going with the man.
Well, then clearly you don't understand why women are so afraid of men.
Okay, Goldilocks, I'm curious to see how other women in West Michigan feel about this. Send us a DM. Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. You'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
This morning from Newaygo, we have on the phone Aaron along with his daughters Addison and Avery.
Good morning, gang.
Hey. Good morning. Hi.
I love having a car full of people to go against. It doesn't make me nervous at all.
No, not at all.
Well, we are resetting that jackpot back to $25 with the Michigan Lottery tickets after I was sadly defeated yesterday. So hopefully you guys can snag it, or maybe we'll build it up a little bit more. Are you ready, Joe?
Yeah, let's go ahead and kick you out of the studio. You guys want to tell Laura to get out?
Bye, Laura.
Bye, guys.
All right. Well, oh my gosh, Laura almost tripped. Don't do that. Okay. Well, now that Laura's out of the studio, hopefully not injured, let's go ahead and get into the first question. She had a hit song called Rehab.
Oh my gosh.
That was it, Miley Cyrus?
Okay, question 2. What is the name of the fictional city where Batman lives?
Gotham City.
Question 3. What is the name of the fictional law firm in the TV show Suits?
What is it? Oh my God. He watches this song.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like
Just say something.
you.
Oh, I don't know. Johnson and Smith.
Okay. Question 4. This Michigan waterfall is one of the largest that's east of the Mississippi River.
Whoa.
Niagara Falls.
No,
No. Dang it.
it's in Michigan.
Oh.
It's
No, is that the-
Cuyahoga. No, it's not Cuyahoga Falls. It's Cuyahoga Falls.
This feels so much easier just listening to it on the radio.
All right, and question number 5. In what American state would you find Denali Park?
Oh no, I'm not gonna hold it.
Florida.
I am going to bring Laura back in. Laura! So, Aaron, you got your daughters with you today while Laura's coming back in, but what do you do for a living?
I work for Best Buy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
cool.
I live.
That's awesome. Man, all right.
She's in 6th grade.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I used to work at your competitor that no longer exists, CompUSA, so I know that tech life.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, Laura, well, Aaron and his daughters might have scared you, but I think you have a chance to beat them today. Unfortunately, they only got one right.
Oh, no. They're so sad. I feel so bad. Okay, let's see how it goes.
right.
They might be really hard questions. Sometimes I do this bad, too, so.
Question number 1. She had a hit song called Rehab.
Amy Winehouse?
Correct.
Oh, that's a guess.
Oh, yeah.
1-0.
Oh, no.
Question 2. What is the name of the fictional city where Batman lives?
That would be Gotham.
That is correct. The score is now 2-1.
Dang it.
Question 3. What is the name of the fictional law firm in the TV show Suits?
No clue. Johnson & Johnson.
Well, you both said Johnson. That's funny, but because Aaron didn't know either. It has several different names throughout the show. Not to spoil it for anybody, but it starts out for the main part as Pearson Hardman. So
okay, yeah, I was like, I've never even watched this show.
It's a cool show. I didn't watch it. I really think you should check out Suits.
Okay, deal.
And question number 4, with the score being 2-1. This Michigan waterfall is one of the largest east of the Mississippi River.
I don't even know a single Michigan waterfall. I was hoping when you said waterfall, I was like, oh, Niagara Falls. I'm like, that's in Canada. That's not here.
That's what I thought too.
Pass. I'm going to pass on this one.
The answer we were looking for, and I think Aaron almost got it out, but he didn't, Tequamanon Falls.
Oh,
I pronounced it. Yeah,
I
right.
vaguely heard of that before. Okay, fair.
Okay, maybe my questions are too tough today.
No, it's a good one. I'm just bad at Michigan landmarks.
2-1 going into your final question. In what American state would you find Denali National Park?
Colorado?
That's a good guess. Aaron went with Florida. Alaska.
Oh, I knew it was somewhere kind of cold and snowy. I just couldn't figure out which cold and snowy place.
Well, the cool thing is right here, Aaron and Addison and Avery, you did lose today, but you could tell everybody it was a close game because Laura only won 2-1.
See? So you guys did pretty decently. They were really hard questions.
Fun. We had fun.
All right, Aaron and the girls, well, since you lost, you know what you have to do, right?
This is Aaron.
Addison and Avery.
In the Wago. And Laura can't lose.
Want to take Laura on and try to get your hands on that Michigan Lottery jackpot? Call us now, 616-600-0957.
Would you risk your reputation to help your buddy get a job? Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. He's asking if he should lie to help his friend get a job. He says, my best friend has had a really tough time lately, including losing his job to a mass layoff. He asked me if he could use me as a reference for a new position, and I agreed because he's my buddy. When he sent me the job description, I thought he was joking. It was for a manager's position. But here's the problem. He's never been in charge. In fact, he's generally the type of person who needs to be managed. He's not bad at his job. He's just a little absent-minded here and there. I want to get him the job because he needs it pretty badly, but I also don't want to lie and set him and possibly the company up for failure because he's just not got the experience to prove he can do it. I also don't want him to be mad at me because he didn't get the job. So what should I do? Again, we would love to hear from you, 616-600-0957 or DM us in the Mix 95.7 app. Okay, Joe, your buddy's asking if you should lie. What do you do?
I mean, I do it all the time. My friends are not qualified for any of the jobs I have. No, I'm just kidding.
That would not surprise me.
As long as you're not like practicing as a surgeon, like doing open heart surgery, yeah, I'll say what it takes for you to get the job. I mean, you're saying a friend. I like you. I know you. I trust you. Yeah, I'm going to help them get the job. How do you think I've got some radio jobs? Like, you got to fake it in life till you make it sometimes. And unless it's something where your mistake could kill somebody, I'm going to sign off on you and hype you up. I'm your hype man.
I used to feel the way you do until I recommended some friends for jobs that I worked with them. Now, I know that's not the case in this scenario, but like I worked at a Panera Bread and I was like, I want all of my friends to work here. And so like I got literally everyone I knew had a job at this place at one point just so I would be able to hang out with my friends. But then I realized that while they're great friends and they're fun to hang out with, 2 or 3 of them were truly the worst employees. And I had to be their manager at times. And so like it really sucked, not only because it like strains your friendship in a weird way, it also just kind of makes you look at them in a different light. So like if you hype this person up and they really fail at this job, you're not going to really like be excited to hype them up in the future because you're like, oh, if I do this again, like what if I want to work at this place one day and I just told them you're a great employee and then surprise, everybody finds out you're actually kind of a dummy. And, you know, I think within reason, fake it till you make it works. But I think you have to kind of already have one foot in the door to fake it. You can't just fully fake it because then you'll never make it.
But he knows what he's doing. He's just never been in a management position. I think anybody given the opportunity, or majority of people, can become a leader or a manager, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I love your optimism here. I know so many people that couldn't lead their way out of a paper bag if their life depended on it. And that's okay. We can't all be leaders.
Are those your Panera friends?
Yeah, I mean, some of them probably. They got lost in the Panera bag on their way to work. But listen, there are certain people that are not designed for certain jobs. If you truly think that that they can fake it till they make it? Yeah, but then you're actually giving a legitimate reference.
Should this guy embellish, if you don't like the word lie, or lie to help his friend get this job because he's going to be a reference for him? 616-600-0957. Call and be part of the show. That's 616-600-0957.